fallen angels. We have seen how stars and hail can represent angels or spiritual beings. They are simply inhabitants of the parent dimension, and if we accept scripture that informs of the same, we and they must be born into the flesh, and it includes us existing prior to this age and after death of the flesh body. Taking this perspective may help us to understand other scriptures. Matthew 24:37, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. 38, for as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark. It is important to identify the object Yahshua is speaking about. It is easy to read over that and assume he is talking about the humans. However, could they be referring to angels? There is evidence to support this position. Genesis 6:1, and it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, 2, that the sons of God saw the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. In verse 1, humans were already having families, and then the sons of God took daughters of the flesh men. How could they do this? It is called transfiguration, where a being can transfigure from a flesh body to a spiritual body and vice versa. The crux of the matter is verse 2, which in the Hebrew is,
From the Hebrew Old Testament, sword.
ויראו בנהלהם את בנות האדם כי טבת הנה, ויקחו להם נשים מקהל אשר בחרו.
Transliterated as, and they are seeing sons of the Elohim, daughters of the human, good ones, they are taking for them women from any whom they chose.
The word translated to God is actually plural.
El, shortened from H352, strength, mighty, especially the Almighty, but used also of any deity, God, God. Elohim, El-Ohim, plural of H433, gods in the ordinary sense, but specifically used in the plural with the article, of the supreme God.
El is God, and Elohim is gods. These are angels. That is the meaning of this passage from Enoch. Enoch 86, verses 1 through 6, and again I looked with my eyes as I was sleeping, and I saw heaven above, and behold, a star fell from heaven, and it arose and ate and pastured amongst those bulls. 2, and after this I saw the large bulls and the black ones, and behold, all of them changed their pens and their pastures and their heifers, and they began to moan one after another. 3, and again I saw in the vision and looked up at the sky, and behold, I saw many stars, how they came down and threw themselves down from heaven to that first star, and amongst those heifers and bulls. They were with them, pasturing amongst them. And I looked at them and saw, and behold, all of them let out their private parts like horses, and began to mount the cows of the bulls. And they all became pregnant, and bore elephants, camels, and asses. 5, and all the bulls were afraid of them, and were terrified in front of them. And they began to bite with their teeth, and to devour, and to gore with their horns. 6, and so they began to devour those bulls, and behold, all the sons of the earth began to tremble and shake before them, and to flee. This passage is not describing literal stars having intercourse with cows and bearing camels, asses, and elephants. These are all symbolic. The passage is a metaphor for the angels mixing with humans. They refused to take Jacob's ladder down to the earth and instead came as lightning. Matthew 24:29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days shall the sun be darkened, and the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven, and the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. 30, and then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man in heaven. And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn, And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Luke 10:18, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. 19, behold, I give unto you power to tread on serpents and scorpions, and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing shall by any means hurt you. These verses are connected to the verses above for Matthew. They are in response to the disciples questioning Yahshua about his return. With our knowledge of stars and lightning, we can conclude that they will be coming back, and then, after that, Yahshua will return. The fact that beings can travel to and from the parent dimension is established in Scripture, of which the following are examples. Job 1:6. Now there was a day when the sons of God came to present themselves before the Lord, and Satan came also among them. 7. And the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord, and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. Revelation 4:1. After this I looked, and behold, a door was opened in heaven, and the first voice which I heard was as it were of a trumpet talking with me, which said, Come up hither, and I will shew thee things which must be hereafter. 2. And immediately I was in the Spirit, and behold, a throne was set in heaven, and one sat on the throne. Furthermore, Revelation 6:12, and I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. 13. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And Revelation 12:9, and the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil, and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. Not only were they here before, but they will also be coming back to put everyone alive at that time to the test. Will you survive the fiery furnace, pass the touchstone test? To close, the adversary twists Scripture to deceive. Matthew 4:5, Then the devil taketh him up into the holy city, and setteth him on a pinnacle of the temple. 6. And saith unto him, If thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down. For it is written, He shall give His angels charge concerning thee, and in their hands they shall bear thee up, lest at any time thou dash thy foot against a stone. 7. Jesus said unto him, It is written again, Thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. The promise is to lift you up. When you do stumble, not to prevent you from stumbling.